BMW, the billion-dollar product it refuses to build. What if I told you BMW is intentionally leaving billions of dollars on the table every single year? While almost every automaker on Earth is racing to build cheaper cars for the mass market, BMW keeps refusing to do it. Not because it can't. Not because it doesn't know how. But because one cheap BMW could destroy something worth far more than billions of dollars. By the end of this video, you'll understand why BMW's most profitable decision isn't the cars it builds, it's the cars it refuses to build. Part 1, the obvious strategy nobody would blame them for taking. For most businesses, the formula for making more money looks simple: lower your prices, reach more customers, sell more units. That's exactly why companies constantly roll out budget versions of their most popular products. Apple has cheaper iPhones. Nike has budget sneaker lines. Even Rolex-adjacent brands have tried entry-level tiers. BMW could do the same thing tomorrow. It has the factories. It has the engineering talent. It has the supply chain. A $20,000 BMW is not a technical problem, it's a choice BMW has refused to make for over a century. In 2024, BMW Group shipped more than 2.2 million vehicles globally, outselling Mercedes-Benz. In 2025, the company still posted a net profit of €7.45 billion, even as tariffs and rising costs squeezed the entire industry. And heading into 2026, BMW guided its automotive profit margin down to a range of just 4 to 6%, a number most mass-market automakers would kill for, but one BMW treats almost as a warning sign. For most of the past several years, BMW has actually targeted 5 to 7% as its normal operating range, with margins as high as 6.9% in early 2025 before tariffs hit. Here's what makes that number remarkable: BMW isn't chasing volume to hit those margins. It's protecting price. Part 2, a century-old decision. To understand why, we have to go back to 1916. BMW started as an aircraft engine manufacturer before expanding into motorcycles and then automobiles. From the very beginning, its identity wasn't built around affordability, it was built around precision, performance, and engineering obsession. That philosophy eventually became one of the most recognized taglines in advertising history: the ultimate driving machine. Notice everything that slogan doesn't say. It doesn't promise the cheapest car. It doesn't promise the best value. It doesn't promise transportation for everyone. It promises something emotional: driving pleasure, precision, status, confidence. That wasn't accidental. BMW wasn't just building vehicles. It was building a brand. And in the luxury business, the brand is often worth more than the product sitting on the showroom floor. Part 3, the psychology of exclusivity. This is where psychology becomes more important than engineering. Luxury brands like Ferrari, Rolex, Hermes, and BMW don't become valuable because everyone can own them. They become valuable because not everyone can. Economists call part of this the Veblen Effect. In a normal market, lowering the price increases demand. In luxury markets, the opposite can happen: raising the price can make a product more desirable, because the price itself signals exclusivity and status. People aren't just buying a product. They're buying an identity. Now picture this: BMW announces a brand new model tomorrow, priced at $19,999. The internet explodes. Dealers get flooded. For a few weeks, it looks like the smartest move in automotive history. Then the real cost shows up. Existing BMW owners start asking a simple question: if almost everyone can own a BMW now, what makes mine special? That single question can quietly unravel decades of brand positioning. Resale values slide. Pricing power evaporates. Buyers who once paid a premium start shopping elsewhere. And BMW gets pulled into a price war against companies that have spent 50 years competing purely on affordability, a fight BMW has zero interest in winning. Because winning it would mean losing the very thing that made the brand worth a premium in the first place. Part 4. Proof the strategy actually works. This isn't just theory, the data backs it up. According to resale value studies from IC Cars, several BMW performance models retain close to 50 to 60% of their original value after 5 years, a figure most mainstream cars can't touch. The M2 Coupe alone retains roughly 60% of its value over that period. That kind of value retention doesn't happen by accident, it happens because BMW deliberately restricts how available certain models feel, which keeps used market demand, and therefore new market pricing power, intact. Compare that to what usually happens when a luxury brand chases volume. Cadillac tried to compete on price and accessibility in the 2000s and spent the following decade fighting to rebuild its premium image. Even well-funded new entrants like Genesis have had to spend years, and enormous marketing budgets, just to be taken seriously at luxury price points, despite building genuinely excellent cars. Once a brand signals affordable, clawing back premium is one of the hardest and most expensive repositioning efforts in business. Part 5. The two-brand solution. Here's the fascinating part, BMW absolutely knows how to build affordable cars. It already does, just not under the BMW badge. The company owns Mini, a brand purpose-built for buyers who want something smaller, more accessible, and more affordable. Mini lets BMW Group capture an entirely different customer segment without touching BMW's core identity. One brand protects prestige. The other captures volume. It's a strategy many companies try to copy and few execute cleanly, because it requires real discipline, the willingness to send price-sensitive customers to a different logo instead of stretching your flagship brand too thin. This same logic is why BMW pours enormous resources into engineering, interior craftsmanship, driving dynamics, and customer experience. It isn't trying to build the cheapest car, it's trying to build a car that justifies a premium price. Every dollar added to the sticker price, if the perception holds, generates a far larger margin than winning a price war ever could. Part 6. The business lesson behind it all. This is one of the biggest lessons in modern business: revenue isn't everything. Margin matters. Brand perception matters. Long-term trust matters more than next quarter's growth chart. Apple doesn't compete to make the cheapest smartphone. Rolex doesn't compete to make the cheapest watch. Ferrari doesn't compete to sell the most cars in a given year, in fact, it deliberately caps production well below demand. And BMW doesn't compete to build the cheapest vehicle. Because truly great brands don't try to be everything to everyone. They become unforgettable to the people who value excellence, and they protect that positioning even when a shortcut to more revenue is sitting right in front of them. Conclusion. In the end, BMW isn't refusing to build a cheap car because it lacks the ability. It's refusing because it understands that protecting more than a century of reputation is worth far more than a temporary spike in sales. Billions of dollars can always be earned again. A luxury brand's reputation, once lost, may never fully return. And that's why BMW keeps leaving billions on the table, because what it's protecting is worth even more than the money itself.